All right. Hello, everyone. I am Kate Scorpio. I am a certified health and wellness coach. I am so glad that you are here with us tonight. Whether you're joining us online or catching us on the replay, welcome. You have taken a great step by showing up for your health, and we are excited to spend the next 30 minutes with you.
And I'm Chris Combest, also a certified coach. And tonight we're doing something fun, simple, and delicious. We're taking two comfort food classics and showing you how to give them a makeover so they still feel indulgent, but actually support your health goals.
And when we hear comfort food, we all think of something slightly different, right? So for some of us, it's casseroles and creamy sauces. For others, it's some cheesy, carby goodness. But what all comfort food has in common, it's it's a feeling, right? And it's tied to connection or nostalgia and that sense of home.
Yeah, exactly. Comfort food just isn't about what's on the plate. It's about how it makes us feel. So tonight we're not just giving you recipes, we're helping you reimagine comfort food in a way that doesn't sabotage your goals or leave you feeling guilty.
Right. So you're going to eat tonight with two recipes to make this week, two recipes that you can make this week, plus a few simple strategies to lighten up really any comfort food without sacrificing flavor. We're going to show you how to use these real ingredients to boost your nutrition and to still keep that cozy, satisfying feel.
Cool. So grab your notebook, settle in, and let's have some fun. Let's talk comfort food and how to feel really good about what you're putting on the table and in your body.
All right. So comfort foods, as we just mentioned, they're emotional. They remind us of family dinners or holidays, right? Or some of our childhood favorites.
Exactly. They're tied to moments that matter. Grandma's lasagna, dad's cheeseburgers on the grill, that one casserole that always shows up at family gatherings.
The challenge is that most of these traditional recipes are packed with refined carbs and sugar and saturated fats. And while they hit the spot in the moment, they can really leave us feeling tired and bloated and kind of like we've completely fallen off track.
Yeah. So we've seen it in clients and we've definitely seen it with ourselves, that inner tug of war between wanting to enjoy something comforting and then wanting to stay aligned with your health goals.
But what if we could flip that script to keep the flavor and just ditch the crash? All right. So that's what we're going to do tonight. This is what it's all about. Comfort food that fuels you instead of dragging you down.
We're going to show you how to rework two comfort food favorites, cheeseburger pie and cauliflower lasagna. They're still hearty, still satisfying, still family approved, but made with better for you ingredients and some creative tweaks.
And because here's the thing. Comfort food can still be part of a healthy lifestyle. People think that it's not, but it just takes a little strategy, right? And that's what we're going to give to you tonight.
So whether you're trying to eat lighter, balance your blood sugar, or you just want meals that leave you feeling good afterwards instead of getting that dragged down feeling, you're in the right place.
All right. So we are going to dive in. And here's the best part. You don't have to overhaul everything to make comfort food healthier. These meals are about small, smart swaps that really can add up over time.
Exactly. We're not here to take away your favorites. We love to eat just as much as anybody else. So we're here to show you how to enjoy them and feel good afterwards. And honestly, some of the swaps we'll show you today are so tasty, you might not even miss the original versions.
Exactly. And so here's one of the things. You're going to be using spaghetti squash or zucchini noodles, right? You can use them instead of pasta. You're cutting out the refined carbs and you're boosting fiber, which can really help with that blood sugar stability.
Yeah. Or swapping out Greek yogurt for sour cream. Same creaminess, way more protein, and beneficial probiotics for your gut health.
Exactly. And in one of the dishes tonight, we are going to use a mix of the grated cauliflower and egg beaters instead of the traditional lasagna noodles. And that's a great way to sneak in extra vegetables while keeping the rich flavors. And Chris, you know this about me, but I never ate a vegetable, right?
Like up until a year ago.
No, not a year ago. It's been 10 years, but I really never did. I never ate vegetables. And people are really surprised when they taste these dishes that we are making tonight. or they actually, every serving has at least 3 servings of vegetables in them.
Yeah. And the swaps are simple, but they really add up. They can help reduce inflammation, support better digestion, give your body more of what it actually needs to thrive.
And here's something that I always remind my clients. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. And when you make even 1 or 2 of these changes to a comfort meal, you're actually really already lighting up that road and moving in the right direction.
Yeah, so keep an open mind tonight, try the swaps, taste the results, and think about where you might be able to use similar tweaks in your own favorite recipes.
All right. Ready to get cooking?
Let's do it.
All right. So we've talked about mindset swaps and strategy. So now it's time to see these comfort food makeovers in action. All right. So next up is, this is one of my absolute favorites. It's a comfort food with at its best. It really has that healthy twist.
All right. This recipe tastes like a cheeseburger in a cozy casserole. All the flavor you love, but ingredients that actually fuel your body.
Right. And so we've upgraded a few of the key things. Spaghetti squash crust instead of a traditional pie crust. We're going to have some lean ground beef. We're going to have some Greek yogurt in place of the mayo or the sour cream.
And the result is a dish packed with protein, fiber, and flavor without that heavy post-meal slump.
All right. So let's show you how simple this is as we put this together.
All right. All right. The first thing you're going to do,
take it away.
And Kate just learned recently that this is a spaghetti squash.
She taught me. This is why we're doing this. So for those who are challenged like me with the spaghetti squash,
here you go. I'm not going to cut one because I'm not allowed to use sharp knives, but this one is already cut. So first thing you're going to do is cut your spaghetti squash in half. And a way to make that a little bit easier is if you put it in the microwave for about 4 minutes, poke some holes in it, put it in the microwave, it softens it up just enough so it's a little bit easier to cut, because sometimes even with a real sharp knife, they're a little tough. So what you're going to do, you're going to cut that open, and then you're going to have this, and you can see all the seeds in there. So the first thing we're going to do with that,
I'm going to be the human trash can.
yes. We are going to scrape out just the seeds. Don't go too deep and take out all the flesh, because that's what you're going to need. That's what we're going to cook and we're going to need for the crust.
It looks like pumpkin seeds. I'm sure she's going to turn it around and show you in a minute.
Yes. And you can actually cook them like pumpkin seeds, and they're actually quite yummy. I'm sure you'll get right on that.
She's using my hand as a scraper.
Yes.
This is what I got.
Okay. And so all the seeds are out of here.
I did mine much cleaner. I don't have to.
No, you don't. Because see, all of that is still, which I did actually leave one seed in there. So we can take that one out. But yeah, it doesn't have to be perfectly clean, because then you're getting down into the stuff that you want to actually keep. All right. So we have our spaghetti squash like this. So what we're going to do, we have a pan back there.
What?
The pan.
What?
Take some olive oil. You can either just use regular olive oil or the olive oil spray. Just sprinkle a little bit on there. Oh, that was quite a lot. And then,
all right,
she's
putting salt and pepper. I'm usually in there moving my oil around, getting around the tops.
No, because then what you do, you're going to cook it upside down. So olive oil is going to come down and it'll get all over the edges, and then you don't have to stick your fingers in there and do all that.
I'm still sticking my fingers
Yeah.
in. Okay. So then what do we do with this?
We're going to pop this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes. And you can usually tell when you go to take it out, the top will be kind of squishy.
Oh, they're here.
Oh, where are we going? Okay.
It's a comedy show.
So when you get it out, it'll look like this. It'll be a little toasty, and the outside is pretty squishy. So we know it's pretty much done. You're going to take a fork and just start peeling.
You want it in here?
Yeah, I want it on here. So you're just going to start scraping all of the squash out. So you can see that. There we go.
So it looks like spaghetti. So
And it's actually yummy, just
yes,
like this.
I would eat it, but it's a little cold because we made it earlier so that we could show you. So, but she takes us all the way down to
Yeah,
Like-
all the way down to the skin or the rind, or I don't know what it's called on a
I
spaghetti
think it's
squash.
called a rind. I think that's a,
Go with that.
I think it's a good name.
Okay, take this all out. And then once you get that all out and clean,
I mean, look, there's like nothing to it. It's really interesting. All right.
I had to make a video to show her how to do it.
She
so.
did. She did.
And then you will have your pile of spaghetti squash. And then what we will do is just take a pie pan. I sprayed it with just a little bit of Pam. Gonna put it in here. You might want to also, which I did this earlier, either use some cheesecloth or a dish towel. I actually use paper towels and squeeze some of the liquid out of it. If not, then the crust will stay kind of moist.
All
Yep.
right. And she didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I did not tell her that part, so hers was a little watery, so sorry about that.
So,
Okay, so we're gonna squish this down.
no more?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
that's good. All squished in here.
So she's making it look like just like a pie crust. So when I used to make apple pies, it's kind of what it looks
I
like.
know what it looks like. You're just gonna bring it up on the sides and just try to even it out. That way it'll all cook evenly.
So, but why, while you were initially had the spaghetti squash in the oven, you started to cook the ground beef.
Yes, I
Right.
did. And I put the onions in there. Some people add the onions raw. I like mine a little more sauteed, so I put the onions in with the ground beef.
Now she has hands full of spaghetti squash.
Yes. So, okay, so we have our crust already. We will set that to the side. All right, so we've got that. And we already said about putting that in the oven, so we've got that. Okay, we've got our beef cooked. We're going to start with our filling. You have 2 eggs.
One.
You're a very good count.
You.
2.
And I'm gonna put them in the sink so that Tony can clean them later.
You just want to whisk those up a little bit. It'll all be mixed up, but just whisk the eggs up a little bit. And then we have pickles, which are my favorite part of the whole meal. Her, not so
mine.
much.
So feel free, if you don't like pickles, you do not have to add them. Just
It says 2 ounces. I normally at least double that because we really like pickles. I chop them up kind of fine. You have 2 options. You can either put them in with everything like I do,
just like that.
just like that, or when you're cooking it, you can put them up on top, and then it's more like a hamburger with them up on top, but I like them in the middle there. So, okay, so we have that. And then we have our
Yogurt.
low-fat yogurt.
And it says it's 1/3 of a cup, so that's pretty close.
Yep. And ooh, some Lee and Perrins Worcestershire sauce.
So once again, this actually says it's a 1/2 teaspoon. Chris goes a little on the heavy side.
Yes.
She likes hers with a kick. So
I like it. It's yummy. Oh, and then we have tomato paste next. You can use it out of the can. I like this. We found this. It's just less waste. And then you have it for the next time instead of every time having to buy the little teeny can.
a great find. I never even knew that tomato paste came in a tube.
And it's 2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna
She's good at estimating.
guesstimate there. All right, we have that. Is that all we need? Oh, meat. And then we need our meat.
Do you stir that first?
No, I'll just mix it all in together.
Okay. So this is the meat with the onions. The dog is gonna
I just got a treat.
it's gonna enjoy some hamburger meat.
Whoa. And a little bit more.
Alrighty.
All right. Mix that all up. And with that, all the other ingredients kind of make like a Big Mac sauce or what's it, Thousand Island dressing.
But it's not really Thousand
But
Island.
it's not really because it's better for you.
It's yogurt and tomato paste and some eggs.
Yep.
And pickles.
Pickles are the best part. It's all mixed up in here. Oh, tomato paste on the side there. Okay. So you've got that all mixed up. Gonna dump it in our pie crust. Just gonna smooth it all out, kind of even it out. See, perfect size. It fits in there very nicely. And then our last item is the cheese.
Cheese. Because it's a cheeseburger pie.
You just
Dump and spread.
sprinkle that.
And then that goes back in the oven.
Yes, and then this will go in the oven for at 400 degrees for 40 minutes.
Perfect timing.
Yes, and when we're done,
Ta-da!
it looks like this.
It looks like this. You see that? So looks very good. It's hot. So she's gonna
cut it.
cut it so she can take a bite.
Another option with the cheese is sometimes I'll cook it most of the way and then I'll put the cheese on top after. That way you have ooey gooey cheese. This is kind of crunchy. It's still really good, but it's just another option for you. We hadn't practiced this part, so we lost part of it.
Well, so here is the cheeseburger pie. There's a spaghetti squash and the layer of the meat as well as the cheese on top.
See that smoking.
I
Yeah,
know.
it is.
We had it in the oven. Yes. All right.
All right, so
This
very
is-
yummy.
Tony, Mr. Peanut Gallery. We'll give you
Yes.
a fork. This is for you.
Our audience member gets to eat tonight.
The entire audience is eating.
All right.
All right. So next up is the my favorite, which is the cauliflower lasagna. All right. So this is just a great comfort food. It's rich, it's layered, it's cheesy. It's a dish that, you know, feels like a hug on a plate. Right. That's the best way that I can say it. But traditional lasagna, right? It's usually loaded with pasta, of course, and lots of heavy cheeses that can really leave you feeling some bloated and sluggish, right?
Yeah. This version is such a great alternative. It's just as satisfying, but it's way more supportive for your body.
Exactly. And we're going to use some grated cauliflower in place of noodles. We're going to have some lean ground turkey. If you say that fast, it sounds like green,
Yeah.
but it's lean ground turkey and some low-fat dairy to lighten things up. All right. Without losing that whole lasagna feel.
Yeah, so you're still getting all of the comfort just with more nourishment. And we have actually cooked this for family and not told them what it was, and they absolutely loved it. And then we said, "Hey, did you know you just ate cauliflower?" And they had no idea. So.
Right, exactly. So every bite here is going to support your gut health. It's going to balance your blood sugar, your energy levels, and it's still going to taste indulgent. And I promise you, once you try it, you won't even miss the pasta. And I will tell you, when someone told me cauliflower lasagna, I was like, I'm not trying it. I really did. And then someone had made it and it smelled so good that I tasted it. And now it's all I make.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. And you will have all of the recipes. We're going to be sending them to you. Can you just hand me that big bowl over there? And so the first thing, let me tell you about the cauliflower that I use. So I typically use a food processor, this little baby here. You can get one at Target, at Walmart, but it's my absolute favorite. I typically will get a head of cauliflower and I just, rinse it off. I like to get the organic kind because it just makes me feel that I'm doing better things for my body. But I wash it and I cut it in chunks. It doesn't have to look pretty because you're going to pulverize it, right? So take off all the green stuff on the bottom. And so that's what I do. And I'm not going to actually show you how to use a food processor, but I did make some extra. And when I do it, it looks almost like snow. It's I make it like so incredibly thin. And yes, it is a little messy, but it's so much better because that's why I can't tell that I'm eating cauliflower. Now, I have used this before, a bag of cauliflower rice. You've actually used the frozen one.
Yeah, we use the frozen.
I don't do that. I used this once, cauliflower rice, and even though it looks kind of small, I didn't re-chop it and I did not like it. But if you're a cauliflower fan and you like to taste cauliflower, feel free, dump it in. But what I've learned is that I could use this, put it in the food processor, and I could still get that, I don't know, snow-like cauliflower.
Yeah.
So
And what I didn't know is none of this was cooked yet, the cauliflower. We always we either use cauliflower rice or just frozen cauliflower, just because it's easier to have on hand. But we always end up cooking it first.
and the recipe does say cook it. I just missed that part and I never needed to.
Yeah,
So
well, if it's cut down that small, then
there you go. You don't need it.
Anyway,
So the recipe actually calls for 4 cups of cauliflower. So, my cauliflower snow. All right, that's the 4 cups. And then what it calls for is to mix it with a cup of egg beaters. So I have that. For those who aren't familiar with egg beaters, it's egg whites with some yellow food coloring. That's my description. I think if you wanted to use egg whites, have at it. The total recipe calls for 3.5 cups of low-fat mozzarella shredded. And then you divide it into 2. Half of it is going to go in this mix. So once again, I had 4 cups of the cauliflower. I had a cup of egg beaters, and I have half of the mozzarella. Right. So we're going to mix that up. And actually, I'm going to give this to Chris to mix up because I'm good at giving directions. And so that's one layer. The second layer, so there is the, no, I'll just keep going to my right train of thought. The other thing that I have here is, it calls for 1.5 cups of low-fat cottage cheese. So that's what this is. And then it calls for 6 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. So we're just going to mix these 2 up. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it to Chris to mix that up too.
there you go.
He's good at this.
Yes.
So we have there is a pound of, I use the 99% ground turkey. So we mix that up. It says, put that in and, brown it with some Italian seasoning. So whatever Italian seasoning you like, make it to your taste. I actually, because I guess I didn't read the directions, but Chris pointed out, I wasn't supposed to put my sauce in with it, but I like putting my sauce in with my meat so that it kind of soaks all up. So what I'm going to do is we had this cooking. This is my turkey, and I use Rayo sauce, R-A-O. I don't know if it's Rayo or Rao, whatever you call it, but you can also use any clean tomato sauce. Just take a look at the ingredients. They're not all created equal. You'll be able to find couple different brands that actually are tomatoes. That's what you're looking for, something that's tomatoes and it doesn't have any of the extra sugars and corn syrups and stuff. All right, so we take a pan, I spray it. So I have that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of sauce on the bottom. I try to really get a lot of the meat on the bottom because it's going to sink down anyway. All right, so I'm layering this up. And Chris, can I get this to you?
Yep.
All right. So I'm just spreading it around. And then the next thing that I put on is this cauliflower mixture. So I'm just going to dump probably about half. And, think of this as we're just making lasagna. I'm just spreading it out. I'm lifting it up and it's all sliding down due to the pan. But I'm just spreading it over top. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is the cottage cheese and Parmesan. Now, what I end up doing, it's kind of thick. So I just kind of make dollops. Usually I make about 6 dollops. And then I just try to spread it as thin as I can. It's all going to cook together, but this way it's nice and thin. All right. And then yeah, but try to save some of the sauce for the top because I do things differently. So So we're just now trying to get the rest of the meat. If you want it, you could keep a little bit of sauce on the extra, like if some people, my husband likes things super saucy.
Me too.
So, all right, so Chris too. So you can either keep some extra sauce on the side, or if you add a little bit of extra sauce, whatever works best for you. All right, so we have that. Now we're going to add the rest of our cauliflower with the egg beaters and mozzarella. We're going to put that in here. We're going to spread that. Getting full. All right, and then she's going to put the rest of the
Dollops.
dollops. Like I said, it doesn't say to put dollops, but I don't know how else you're supposed to
Yeah,
spread it.
it's hard to spread. I tried once putting it in my hands and putting it on there, and that did not go well.
Don't follow what she says. All right, and then last up, we're going to, this is why I like to save some sauce for the top, because we put that. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we have that, and then we have the last of the cheese. You can take that out of the oven. We have the last of that other half of the mozzarella cheese. The oven.
What? Oh, there.
And this actually goes into the oven at 350. It says on the recipe 45 to 55 minutes. This is what it looks like. It's a beautiful lasagna. It's heavy, it's full. So when I put it in the oven, I always put it on a tray personally. And this is what it looks like cooked. I don't know if you can see
you
it.
see?
We need another,
Yeah, it's heavy.
can you see that? Anybody? Thumbs up?
Yes, looks good.
Okay.
Delicious.
So I usually keep that in there for a little bit, like check it. It's absolutely cooked, right? The only thing that wasn't cooked was the egg beaters, right? But then I like to have it browner on top. So I will put the broil on to get that little bubbly on top. And I don't think we're going to taste it because it's kind of a little hot. So and we're running out of time.
Okay.
So we are, we're going to stop with that. But let me tell you, it's delicious. I actually went to an event and I made 3 of them and every one of them was gone. So people were asking to take some home and actually asked if I did catering. How about that?
Look at you.
That never happens. All right. So let's pause for just a quick mindset shift before we wrap up. We've talked about comfort food. We've shown you that you can really make it so that it feels good and in your body and in your life. And here's something that we really, really want you to take away. This isn't diet food.
No, not
Okay.
at all.
Right. It's, you can say the food that loves you back. I mean, there's so many different ways to put it.
Yeah. And comfort food doesn't need to be a cheat meal. When you fuel your body with real nutritious ingredients, you feel more satisfied, energized, and more in control.
Exactly. And this is about nourishment, not restriction. Food is meant to be enjoyed, right? We all gather around the table. You don't have to give up your favorites. You just need to give them a little makeover.
Okay, before we let you go, let's give you a quick game plan to help you make these swaps part of your regular life.
All right, so first, keep staples on hand. Spaghetti squash, a head of cauliflower, or florets, or rice, or even the frozen cauliflower rice, the Rayo sauce, or another clean marinara sauce, lean proteins like the ground turkey or ground chicken, or even the ground beef. These will give you a base to work with.
Yeah. Build a few go-to meals that you love and then change up the spices or sauces to keep things exciting. You can have taco style one week, Italian the next, even Asian inspired flavors.
Exactly. So don't worry about trying to what did they say and how do we do this? We are going to be sending you the recipe cards in an email and the 2 things that we made tonight, so you can try it on your own. All right, so we are so glad that you joined us tonight. Remember, your health journey doesn't have to be complicated or restrictive. It can be delicious, it can be flexible, and it can be joyful.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you want more tips, recipes, and encouragement, be sure to follow us on social media or join our newsletters. And we're always sharing ways to make healthy, simple, sustainable meals.
And I just want to throw this out there. Next month, mark your calendars. Our monthly wellness webinar, it's on Thursday, June 26th. It's called Summer Shape Up. energize your health for the summer. And trust me, you do not want to miss it.
All right. Thanks for being here and showing up for yourself. One comfort meal, one healthy habit, one small step at a time.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.